The Sony PlayStation was never meant to be a product. It was intended to be a new console that would play Nintendo games exclusively on CDs. Nintendo backed out of the deal at the last minute. Sony went ahead and launched what would become the most successful console of all time. Pablo Escobar and his son took a photo standing in front of the White House in 1981, even though he was one of the most wanted crime lords at that time. Boston College has a policy that says employees' kids can attend for free as long as they get accepted. One janitor had 5 kids who all got in, saving nearly $700,000 in tuition. The appendix does have a purpose. It stores samples of good bacteria so they can repopulate your digestive system in case they are wiped out entirely by diseases such as diarrhea. A new ocean is forming in Africa. Africa is witnessing the birth of a new ocean. A 60-kilometer crack opened up in Ethiopia in 2005 and has been expanding ever since. This event is truly incredible. Grandma Gatewood was an extreme hiker and was the first woman to hike 2,168-mile Appalachian Trail at the age of 67, bringing only Converse shoes, an army blanket, and a plastic shower curtain after reading about it in a magazine and telling her children she was going for a walk. She hiked it again at 72 years old and 75 years old. The difference between $100 and $105 isn't much. But the difference between $0 and $5 is having something to eat or going to bed hungry. This young man sits aside the Empire Road in Johannesburg, South Africa, and instead of begging, he provides book reviews. He collects books, reads them, and provides reviews for people passing by. If you like the review, he will try to sell you the book. This is how he makes a living. The vertical stairs of Mount Hua, China. According to a British study, men drive an extra 276 miles per year because they refuse to ask for directions. Following Marilyn Monroe's death, Joe DiMaggio was so devastated that he delivered roses to her grave 3 times a week for over 20 years, never remarried, and his last words were, "I will finally get to see Marilyn." NASA astronaut Christina Koch breaks world record for longest continuous stay in space by a woman. She will complete 328 days in orbit around Earth by the time she returns in February 2020. Kudos to you, ma'am, you are an inspiration. The restaurant of order mistakes employs waiters with dementia, and you never know what you are getting. In 1912, Jim Thorpe, an American Indian, had his running shoes stolen the morning of his Olympic track and field events. He found this mismatched pair of shoes in the garbage and ran in them to win 2 Olympic gold medals that day. A couple spent 26 years replanting a rainforest in India, which they bought in 1991, and now it covers over 300 acres of wildlife that are home to more than 200 globally endangered species of plants and animals, including Asian elephants and Bengal tigers. Just 3 days into his internship with NASA, 17-year-old Wolf Cookier has discovered a planet 6.9 times larger than Earth. Until the 1980s, you didn't even need to buy property in Alaska. If you lived on the land for 5 years, developed the land for agriculture and built a house, it would have been yours. Selena Gomez has donated an amount of $500,000 towards the Australian bushfires. Thank you, Selena. Riley Horner, an Illinois teenager, suffered a traumatic brain injury that makes her memory restart itself every 2 hours, and she wakes up thinking every day is June 11th. A Jesus statue in India was found to be leaking mysterious water from its feet. Worshippers from all over flocked to the shrine, collecting the water and even drinking it in hopes to cure various illnesses. The source was later found out to be a clogged toilet from a nearby home. A 19-month-old boy in Australia received Medal of Honor on behalf of his firefighter father who died battling bushfire. This is so heartbreaking. May his soul rest in peace. After needing 13 liters of blood for a surgery at the age of 13, a man named James Harrison pledged to donate blood once he turned 18. It was discovered that his blood contained a rare antigen which cured Rhesus disease. He has donated blood a record of 1,000 times and saved 2 million lives. In 2013, while walking their dog in their backyard, a married couple came across several rusty buckets sticking out of the ground. The buckets were full of gold coins minted from 1847 to 1894. The total value of all the coins were about $11 million. There is a hangover bar in Amsterdam that breathalyzes you to make sure you're drunk when you arrive. Inside, you can relax on specially designed mattresses, watch movies and help yourself to fresh water, smoothies, an oxygen bar and food ordered from a nearby restaurant.